And welcome to a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's the 4th day of April 2018. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. Steve Hare, news director extraordinaire to my immediate left. Kat in control. It is hump day. It's the middle of the week. And a good morning to you, Steve.
Great day in the morning. I think we got to change the name of the show.
To what?
Dan and Steve's Excellent Adventure, because I never know where you're going to take me.
I like that. I was actually thinking, because my contract is coming up, you know, and I'm thinking of actually getting my name above the title in my contract negotiations. So it'd be Dan Kuntz starring in Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Yeah. That ain't going to happen. Kat in control just said, no, not going to happen. Good Wednesday to you. Great night last night. First of all, congratulations to the Eastmont Wildcats soccer team. We were there televising it. They're good undefeated in league. They took care of West Valley. No pushover, 5-1. We got highlights. Wenatchee Wild won. They're up 3 games to none. They've won 7 consecutive playoff games. I had Arch Ecker on this show last week, and I asked Arch, is this a special team? And he said, I think it is.
Ooh.
We may run the table.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be cool. This is the deepest they've ever gone in the BCHL playoffs since they joined the British Columbia Hockey League 3 years ago. So this is good. They got past the second round.
One more, and then they're in the finals.
Yeah, and then there's another series if they win that. And then there's another series if they win that, believe it or not.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
we could be playing into the summer.
They could be playing into the summer. I'm all for that. I have no problems with that at all. Mariners.
I'm sure the Town Toyota Center would love to see that. Huh?
Bring that on. Mariners, very impressive victory over San Francisco. We'll talk about that as well. We have the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays, all that good stuff. Lisa Bradshaw via Skype. I talked to Lisa yesterday morning on her Don't Wait tour. As you well know, she's driving up and down the spine to the West Coast. Talking about her Don't Wait project, which is basically don't wait. If you got something on your bucket list, do it. Just do it. And she's doing that. And we had a great conversation with Lisa, and we'll air that in the second half of the show. It is also a banner day for Steve Hare for 2 reasons. Number one, it is International Hug a Newsman Day today.
Oh, please.
And
I can always use a hug.
And you're going to get your hair cut.
You had to bring that up.
Well, you're getting a little
frizzy, maybe.
Yeah, you're not looking too bad. You're not looking too bad. We got a lot of news to get to as well.
Thanks for that, Caitlin. I appreciate that.
And hey, before we go any further, pretty bad weather. It's spring break, and we're in for a lot of rain.
Spring. It's April.
Yeah, it's April. April showers bring May flowers. And what do May flowers bring?
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims, of course. That's so lame. Let's go around the Wenatchee Valley.
Like I said, this is an excellent adventure.
With our Valley View cameras. Have we been canceled yet? There we go. There is the Wenatchee Valley. What you're looking at today is what you're going to get. There's a significant offshore flow. It's going to bring wet weather, pretty much off and on, hit and miss for the rest of the week and into the weekend. We're going to get wet. Heaviest rain is not coming up until the weekend. We're going to have a lot of rain Saturday and Saturday night. They're worried about swollen streams and rivers.
Well, I'll tell you what, those irrigation ditches are in the process of getting those cleaned out now, and I know there's some fears about heavy rainfall, especially in the Icicle-Peshastin irrigation district, with the emergency situation at one of their reservoirs up in the high country. In fact, we talked to the Chelan County Commissioners about that earlier this week, and we'll have a story on it. We'll share with you later this afternoon. I
believe they start charging the ditch, the big ditch, the Greater Wenatchee Reclamation District on the 9th is when they start filling it. Is that correct?
That's right.
And that takes a while. It's a long process.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So.
Uriah and I joined the ditch cleaning crew out there last week.
Right.
Maybe we'll bring that back.
I'd love to. Good morning, Wenatchee. Thanks for joining us. Camera 2 is now decided by Kat, and she said, we're going to Manson, baby.
Wow, that's a great shot.
Yep. Beautiful Manson, Washington. I love Manson.
Got good folks to live up in Manson, you know?
They're good. They're
salt of the earth.
Yes, salt of the earth, absolutely. Good morning, Manson. Thanks for joining us. And I'm very proud of myself because whenever I go to Manson, I resist the urge to turn right at the casino. I just keep right on going.
One of the more prominent figures there in Manson, of course, Doug England, Chelan County Commissioner, is out ill this week.
Sorry to hear about that.
Wish you the best and get well quick.
Yeah, it's too bad. Hang in there, my friend. Camera number 3. Lake Wenatchee.
Lake Wenatchee.
Yep. That's snow.
And it's snowing.
Holy cow, it's snowing.
In Lake Wenatchee right
now. My goodness gracious. Good morning, Lake Wenatchee, where winter apparently decided I'm going to stick around a little while longer, even though it's the 4th day of April. That's what we call the Two Rivers camera. Sometimes we point it up the White River Valley, and sometimes we point it right down at Lake Wenatchee, and that's pointed right down at Lake
Looks
Wenatchee.
kind of haunting, doesn't it?
It does. Ooh,
Surreal.
It's the Blair Witch Project. I'm so scared. And finally, camera number 4.
Oh.
Billy Goat.
Billy Goat.
Hey, and it looks like the snow is receding from the Alta Lake Golf Course.
Looks like it. Is that
Right
Alta Lake down
That's
below?
right down at the bottom of your screen is the Alta Lake Golf Course, and the lake itself you can actually see. That's pulled back quite a bit.
The
Spectacular
confluence of the
view.
Columbia River and the is that the Methow?
That's the Methow flowing into the Columbia. You can see Pateros and you can see Brewster. You can't see Bridgeport because, of course, Bridgeport is around the corner and tucked in there. It's kind of hidden by the
And far in the distance there,
Mount Kalispell,
That's right.
which is in Canada. That lets you know how far that, again, as we mentioned this before, the height of this camera that you're looking at is 6,800 feet. That is way up
So
there.
those would be the Canadian Rockies?
I believe so. I believe so.
Kalispell?
No, it's actually,
Is that part of that range, or
I'm
is that
sorry.
the
It's
Sawtooth range?
Yes, I believe so. That is absolutely correct. I'll have to go back and look at my notes again. So good morning to everybody all over North Central Washington. Thanks for starting your day with us on the NCW Live channel. Pack your bumper chute, because here comes the rain. It's going to be a wet week. There is your forecast. Rain likely today. Most of it between 11 and 4 o'clock. In fact, we have the hourly weather graphic so you can know exactly what we're looking at. The top is your percentage chance of rain, and the bottom graphic will show you when the rain will come down at its heaviest. Does that make sense? So if you jump all the way ahead to Thursday, that's when we're really going to get some rain, and then once again on Saturday. So that, again, the top will be your percentage of rain, and the bottom is when the rain will come down. So
I thought you
rain
had a
today.
tea time.
What's that?
I thought you had a tea time.
Sunday morning. I do.
Sunday morning.
So we'll be fine. Cloudy today, high of 54, and again, the heaviest rain will come down between 11 this morning and 4 o'clock this afternoon, about 1/10 of an inch, which is really not a lot. Rain tapers off tonight, goes down to about a 30% chance of rain, 41 for the overnight low. Thursday, a lot of rain. Between 1/10 and 1/4 inch possible pretty much all day on Thursday. Again, cool, high of 54. Our normal high, Steve, at this time of the year is 60. So it's going to be cool. Rain chance Thursday night, 50-50. Friday should be dry. Friday night and Saturday, heavy rain, especially Saturday. Saturday morning, this is important, Saturday morning, heavy rain until about noon. It's going to come down in buckets. A 100% chance of rain Saturday. It tapers off Saturday night. Sunday, going to be cloudy but dry, and a high of 59. So very unsettled, cool weather, wet weather all week long. That's your forecast at 8 minutes after the hour. We're not supposed to do the past reports this time of the year, but conditions warrant.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's take you up to the Cascades from the Washington State Department of Transportation. I-90 bats lead off. Oh, that's not I-90.
It is snowing there
That's
in
it.
Plain.
Yeah.
And,
In the meantime,
Lake
we'll go back to
Wenatchee,
that
so suffice it to say, it's snowing up on Stevens Pass right now.
I-90 is, the camera is not available. There's no advisories, no restrictions on I-90. Nothing's coming down either. It's looking pretty good. Stevens Pass does have a traction tire advisory. Snow and slush on the roadway. Not surprisingly, it's snowing on Stevens, but it doesn't look like it's sticking to the roadway a great deal. Blewett Pass, no advisories, no restrictions. Nothing is coming down on Blewett. However, they're expecting 6 to 10 inches of snow on Stevens Pass today. Not so much on I-90, not so much on Blewett, but if you're taking US 2 Stevens Pass, 6 to 10 inches of snow today. They have a winter weather advisory for the west slope of the Cascades until 10 o'clock tonight, because they're going to get 6 to 10 inches today, an additional 1 to 3 inches possible tonight, and then that's about it. So today's going to be a heavy snow event day in the Cascades, especially on the west slopes of the Cascades.
Great water year.
Yeah, very good water year, no doubt about that. 9 minutes after the hour, it is the 4th day of April, 2018. Steve asked this morning when I got in at 4:30 this morning to work hard. It was 5:30. He said, can I do a lot of news? And I said, you can do as much news as you think is necessary. And so an adult portion of news will come your way in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this Wednesday morning. Here's what's happening around north central Washington. Chelan County PUD is taking immediate action to shut down unauthorized Bitcoin mining operations. At their meeting this week, the commissioners directed staff to take all necessary steps to enforce the moratorium on unpermitted cryptocurrency operations, including imposing fees and penalties, also considering new ones, disconnecting services, and reporting unauthorized loads to law enforcement as power theft, and also to report to fire officials to protect public safety. PUD General Manager Steve Wright said the problem has created a dangerous situation that's getting out of control.
I think it's deeply troubling that someone was going from 500 kilowatt hours to 11,000 kilowatt hours in an apartment, putting their neighbors at risk. So John used the word thermal. I want to make it stronger than that. It was a fire risk that was created. And so we are talking about a severe human health and safety issue that was uncovered here. And this has got to stop. We have to find a way to address this.
And again, during Monday's meeting, the board received a report of unauthorized Bitcoin mining discovered last week in a Wenatchee apartment, a Malaga home, and a Chelan mini storage unit. PUD crews disconnected power for the unauthorized services. A moratorium on new Bitcoin mining permits had been imposed by the PUD back in March and remains in place. A GoFundMe account has been set up for a Moses Lake family that was victimized recently in a tragic car crash in which a pregnant mother was killed. 27-year-old Alyssa Helferstein died over the weekend when the family's car crashed on Interstate 90 near North Bend. Her husband and 2 children survived the accident. The husband's brother set up the GoFundMe account with the goal of raising $5,000. They're already over that goal. It's been set up to help pay medical bills and the mother's funeral costs. Wenatchee Police Department is offering free training to local businesses on how to respond to an event where an active shooter may be present. Very topical right now, given the tragedy that occurred in San Bruno, California yesterday. Officer Corey Bernash gave a presentation at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Megan McPherson, our NCW Life reporter, was there, and she filed this report.
So the active shooter training event is a program that we're doing with partnership with the Wenatchee Police Department. They have an officer who is specifically trained to provide this program, and it's geared to keeping people safe and making them more aware of their surroundings. And hopefully, if they are in an event where there's an active shooter or other significant tragedy, that they might have a little bit more knowledge and skills on how to help themselves. It's a 2-hour program, and he really covers what it feels like to be in an emergency situation. So he'll cover your body's reactions, and so you can kind of identify those a little bit easier. He also then points out things that you can do to avoid those situations, and then if you are in one of those situations, how you can react and move through it faster, because really getting to the decision piece of a tragedy or a crisis, getting to the decision part is where you really want to be, so that you're making the right decisions with the right amount of facts and less emotion. But the Wenatchee Police Department is really gracious about providing this training to the community. They don't do it for a cost, so if there's an employer out there who wants to bring it in for their employees, they will do that. The chamber, often we do this a couple times, to our membership. We partner with places like the Wenatchee Convention Center to provide that. So there's opportunities to have them come. Maybe it's a nonprofit group that would like to have him come and do that presentation, and I know that they're more than willing. Their goal is to keep people safe. That's what the police department's for. So they're happy to do that on a small scale for just specific employers, but they're also happy to do it for the community at large. The biggest piece is to be aware, and as the chamber and we recognize that businesses play an important role in the community and keeping their employees safe and their customers safe. So it's important, I think, that we all pay attention to this. Unfortunately, we need to this day and age, but we just encourage anyone to take part in a training like this and to reach out to the police department or other agencies that are doing programs that will help foster that safety topic.
So the first part of the conversation we have is just kind of what our bodies go through in a high stress situation and how we can make good decisions beforehand, come up with a plan, so when it actually happens we can just react instead of having to think, and that's what slows us down and could potentially cost us our lives or somebody else. And then we touch on what those options are, and what we talk about is avoid the attacker, deny them access, or defend yourself if you have to. And those are interchangeable. You can go back to one or the other, but those are kind of the key points we talk about today.
Thanks to our NCW Life reporter Megan McPherson for that report. Also this morning, Chelan County Commissioners react to statements from U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. And this is regarding the plans by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Department to reintroduce grizzly bears into the North Cascades wilderness. Now, the Secretary said in a recent visit to Washington State that he supports the plans, which contradicts an earlier order by his agency to halt an environmental impact study on that proposal. Now, in their regular interview with NCW Life, news commissioners, or rather our county commissioners, responded to Zinke's comments.
Well, I think it was a surprise the way it came out. Given the previous comments, we were under the impression that the plan was going to be put on hold. We had serious concerns at the outset because of the way the whole public process had been rolled out, and we went to open houses that really told us what was going to happen rather than actually looking for that public comment. We've also been told that comments that came from London, England, had as much weight as those here, and we were a little concerned about how the public comments were being processed. But having said that, I mean, as I mentioned, it was a surprise to us that it ended up with the statement that was issued. Now, when you look at the statement, we really don't know exactly what that means, because the options that were rolled out really had quite a variety of build up to the population that they were hoping for, the 200 bears in the North Cascades. So they may start out very few, they may start out with option B, option C. We don't really know what that means. I did see that the Secretary said he thinks the grizzlies are magnificent animals, as do I, but I just didn't really, I personally don't feel like they need to be in the North Cascades.
Well, Commissioner Overby, I think that, considering that the Secretary did say that he supported the reintroduction of grizzly bears, but he says he wants to see it done right. Does that?
Yeah, as Keith had earlier mentioned, there were multiple options with reintroduction of the grizzly bear. From just a natural propagation of the bear to implanting up to 200 bears over a short period of time. And so where that lies, we don't know at this time. I do know that last year, as you recall, we actually had a joint meeting with Skagit County Commissioners, and we talked about the impacts that it would have. We looked at our comprehensive plans. How does this fit into that, and the impacts that it would potentially have to Chelan County and some of the ranchers and the businesses and things like that in these areas that would be close in. And so we just need to kind of get a little better feel as to what this looks like. I know they're going through an EIS process on this, and how that's going to vet itself out. But at the end of the day, we have to look out for what's in the best interest of the citizens of Chelan County as well.
We'll have more with the Chelan County Commissioners coming up a little bit later on our 5 o'clock news with Eric Grandstrom sitting in for our anchor Grant Olson. Also on the environmental front today, on Monday, Representative Dan Newhouse hosted a press conference in the Tri-Cities with a variety of stakeholders who oppose the court-mandated spill order scheduled to begin this week at the 8 Lower Snake River and Lower Columbia River dams. U.S. District Judge Michael Simon in Portland ruled that more water must spill over the dams from April to mid-June to help young salmon migrating to the ocean. Opponents complain that the spill will mean less water to produce electricity, which increases the utility bills for Northwest ratepayers.
As I said, increasing spill starts tomorrow. It has an estimated price tag of over $40 million in higher electricity rates from increasing spill in just this 1 year alone. And to me, that's totally unacceptable and avoidable. So today we're standing here not just to say that we will work together to prevent further spill increases and rising electricity rates due to this order, but we're working to save our dams from the prospect of being breached.
Now, some of the Tri-City and state leaders Newhouse met with Monday also argued that more spill could actually harm migrating fish. Newhouse said during the event that a bipartisan bill that could be voted on later this month would keep the status quo at the Snake and Columbia River dams until at least the year 2022, with no court-ordered change to operations. Elsewhere this morning, Chelan County PUD customers are apparently highly satisfied with their hometown utility. 97% of those responding to a recent survey scoring the district a 4 or a 5 on a 5-point scale. 3 out of 4 customers rated their satisfaction at the top of the scale, saying they were highly satisfied with the Chelan PUD.
I've been doing this since the mid-'80s. I've done, at least a dozen utility studies a year since the '80s. This is the most favorable utility customer satisfaction survey I have ever done.
Bill Robinson of Robinson Research reviewed the positive survey results for PUD commissioners Monday. Tongue-in-cheek, he told the commissioners, actually cautioned them not to expect scores to improve in future surveys. Now, the overall satisfaction in this year's customer satisfaction survey is 3% higher than last survey in 2016, 5% higher than in 2014. The full results of the survey are on the PUD's website.
And I really believe you're satisfying nearly everyone who's capable of being satisfied. Not everyone wants to be satisfied. We all know people that want to have some kind of a negative experience at anything they do so they can complain how they were abused. And I think you're really satisfying just about everybody that wants to be.
And again, Robinson's firm contacted 402 Chelan County PUD customers by phone, both landline and cell phone, in February and March. But I know that you, Dan, are a customer of the Chelan County PUD. Would you put yourself in that highly satisfied category?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've had no problems with the PUD.
Good.
I'm a big fan of electricity, too.
See, I have very good service through our counterparts across the river. The Douglas County PUD does a great job, too. Provides me with my fiber.
Yeah, having cheap and affordable power drives industry. It brings jobs and business to the North Central Washington.
Definitely, we've been discovered.
Yeah. Boy, and you were kidding about the news. That's a lot of news.
A lot of news to get to.
That's a lot of news. In fact, there's stories that we just didn't have time to get to, including the finalists for the assistant port director for the Port of Chelan County. You were there yesterday.
Conducted those interviews. It was a 4-hour session with the commissioners, but they had their 4 candidates. Each of them were interviewed yesterday, and no decision was made, but that's pending, and we'll have a full roundup and recap of that meeting yesterday. But each of those candidates highly qualified, and I think each of the commissioners, at least from my perception, is that they were very impressed with the qualifications of their final 4 candidates. And eventually one of those deputy directors will be jumping up into the executive director's role, because Pat Boss is planning to leave at the end of the year.
As Steve mentioned, Eric Granstrom is filling in this week for Grant Olson, who's taking a couple of well-deserved days off. So Eric will have the news with you at 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock today. 6 o'clock tonight, we won't have a newscast because we have Wenatchee Panther soccer. The Wenatchee Panthers are hosting the Pasco Bulldogs in a non-league game at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl, and that's going to start at 6 o'clock. So there'll be no 6 o'clock news, but you can always watch it on demand. Remember that. We post it late afternoon. 4:35, right around there. So go to our website, ncwlife.com. It's usually right on the front page. You just click and you go. Or you can also go to the Watch On Demand tab as well. And you can watch all of our shows. You can watch this show. You can watch the 12th District, Street Talk and other stuff, Life with Lisa, Arbiter of Stoke. I'm forgetting a bunch of our shows, but they're all there for you to watch on demand. Sports broadcasts, we archive them all.
And we're portable.
Yes, we're absolutely portable. I don't have my phone with me. This is my new little phone. Yeah, we're portable, so we're very proud about that. And we would love to hear from you. We do love to hear from you. And we try to make it as easy as possible. Steve, on Hug a Newsman Day, do the honors.
In fact, I got a request yesterday from one of our viewers who has actually offered to provide us with pictures and video of breaking news. So that's what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
Help. You're our eyes and ears out there, folks. So let us know if you see news happening or if you have an idea for a news story that you'd like us to cover. You can contact us by email. The address is news@ncwlife.com. You can call us with breaking news. That number is 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. Of course, you can contact us and communicate with us on the social media through Facebook and Twitter. And finally, just press that little tab at the top of our web page there at ncwlife.com. Contact us and let us know what's on your mind.
Let's see. Wild 1. Eastmont Wildcats boys soccer 1. Kashmir boys soccer 1. Wenatchee boys soccer victorious. Mariners 1. I'm looking forward to doing sports.
We got a good sportscast.
Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 5 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
High school sports is back this spring on the NCW Life channel. Do you like baseball? We've got you covered with the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats. How about softball? We have you covered there too with fast pitch action right here. How about lacrosse? Yep, got you covered there too with the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. And of course, there's boys soccer. Whatever your interest, we've got you covered on your home for high school spring sports, the NCW Life channel.
So this is Honda listening to its customers. They did a poll and women overwhelmingly came back and said that a lifetime warranty would be most important to them. Hondas are already incredibly reliable, and this lifetime warranty just adds that additional peace of mind that if anything ever goes wrong, it's covered. Most manufacturers anticipate their cars to be on the road for anywhere from 7 to 10 years. With a Honda, you're getting 15 to 20. Now with our new lifetime warranty, it's going to be extended even beyond that.
Just about 20 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Overcast and 37 degrees. Rain between noon and about 4 o'clock today. As you can see from that live shot at Lake Wenatchee, it's snowing up there. That is a live shot from our Two Rivers camera at the very top of Lake Wenatchee. It's snowing on the 4th day of April up there. So we're going to have some rain this afternoon. It tapers off tonight. Significant rain expected on Thursday and then again on Saturday. You were warned. Sports. The Wenatchee Wild have now won 7 games in a row at the right time to do it. The playoffs. A 2-1 victory last night, Game 3 over the Trail Smoke Eaters. Up to Trail to the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. The Smoke Eaters actually got on board first, but then A.J. Vanderbeck and Jasper Weatherby would have an answer as her goals helped push Wenatchee to within a game of reaching the BCHL Finals. Austin Park, a brick wall in net. He stopped 27 of 28 shots, including a flurry down the stretch by Trail. Arch Ecker has the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
And fires it up ahead. Blaine Caton gets it on the backhand, cuts over to his left. It's to McLean. He's in, he shoots, and he scores. Spencer McLean with his shot, and they're out through center. Vanderbeck on the right side. Over on the left wing for Souter. Back in front, tip and a score. Boy, a nice redirection by A.J. Vanderbeck as he fired it over to Souter. Souter threw it right back across and driving to the net on the right wing. A.J. Vanderbeck, and he puts the redirection on it. Beats Marcoux on the glove side. There, he sets up as the Wild regroup in the neutral zone. Saucer feed, here's Weatherby. He's in, he shoots, and he scores! Jasper Weatherby. Off the nice feed, the transition out of the neutral zone, moved ahead for Souter. He put it into the skating lane for Weatherby. He came down the left side, rips it up high, right under the bar. And at 10-12, the Wild have their first lead of the night. Works his way at the near ball and cycles it down low. In front, shot, loose puck is kicked across and not cleared. Held in by Barton. Shot tipped on the way through. Broken up and flipped past. And Gontus gets it across. Shot! Oh, no. How did that not go in? Puck loose in front. Shot again. Still loose. And the Wild come up with a can't clear. Another offering. Fired into the corner. I think somebody saran wrapped the net when we weren't looking. And then picked up, and McLean moves it back across for Caton. Over on the right side. Twisted in front, right through the crease, and wide into the near corner. Back up top for Martini. His shot tipped in front and swept wide into the corner once again. Baseman advances into the left side. Empty net down at the other end. Drop pass Barton. He shoots and it gets knocked away. Back to Welsh. He smacks at it. Comes bouncing down in the opposite corner and then chiseled up the wall. Held in, fired wide of the net again. And a lunging Vanderbeek tries to clear the zone and can't quite get it out. Moved across over to the right side. Big shot blasted wide. Barton's going to pick it up. 4 seconds left. Long shot. Steered away by Park into the corner. And that's it. Boy, the Wenatchee Wild hold off a furious push from the Trail Smoke Eaters, who threw everything but the kitchen sink at them tonight. The Wild win streak moves now to 7 games. And there was at least 4 opportunities that I have no idea how the puck never hit the back of the net.
I love that line, Arch, about saran wrapping the net when nobody was looking. Wenatchee can wrap up this series with a victory Game 4 tonight. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock. Boys soccer last night. Kashmir came away victorious. Wenatchee won in overtime, but first to East Wenatchee we go. Wildcat Stadium, the Wildcats hosting the West Valley Rams. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen were there with the call. Here are your highlights.
That was a stressful situation.
Chipper, onside, mano-a-mano situation, right foot, the shot, goal, 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 goal! Johan Daniel Espinosa for the Eastman Wildcats. Flavio Espinosa, Flavio, trying to leave Noah Cepeda behind us. Flavio, goal, 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 goal! Flavio Yair Espinosa, 2-0 Eastman Wildcats. Matt Wisen.
Well, you know, if your older brother scores a goal, you got to keep pace. Otherwise, you know who's going to get fed tonight.
Through ball, good ball. Into the box we go. Flavio Espinosa, good touch. Nice ball, the shot. Goal, 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 goal. And what a combination. Flavio and Johan. West Valley, there's a right-footed shot waiting to happen. Switching to the left, the stop, and there it is. The 3-1 tally for West Valley. Eastman needs that 4th goal to put West Valley, this pesky West Valley squad away from for good. There's a good touch. Lopez and Espinosa. Goal, 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 goal.
Just on cue.
I couldn't have planned that one better, folks. That is Flavio Espinosa. 72nd minute.
And preparing for.
There's a shot. Goal, 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 goal. And it's a hat trick for Flavio Espinosa at the end of regulation.
To the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard we go from last night. There you see the Eastmont victory over West Valley, 5-1. Wenatchee's Jonathan Tromberg scored a golden goal in the first overtime. The Panthers knock off Davis 2-1. Kashmir shut out Colville 1-0. High school baseball yesterday. Kashmir traveled to Avista Stadium for a doubleheader against teams from the Lilac City area. The Bulldogs won the opener over Freeman 9-2, and they came back in the nightcap to win down in Cheney 11-10. Eastmont traveled to Moses Lake. They fell to the Chiefs 5-1. Our broadcast schedule for the week. We're back to the pitch tonight. Leibofto Field at the Apple Bowl. It's a non-league tilt between Wenatchee and Pasco. This is going to be a very good game. The Bulldogs knocked the Panthers out of the state tournament last year, so Wenatchee looking for a little revenge. 6 o'clock kickoff. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen will have the call right here. We'll feature Game 1 of the Wenatchee Wild and Trail Smoke Eaters series tomorrow night. That's hockey night at 7 o'clock. On Friday, we'll pick up the second game of the doubleheader between Eastmont and Moses Lake. We'll be at Dan White Field for that one around 5:30, first pitch. Saturday's schedule has changed. The Eastmont-Quincy soccer match has been canceled, so the Wenatchee Trail Game 2 will air at 2 o'clock, followed by Game 3 at 7 o'clock. Seattle Mariners built a big early lead, and they held on down the stretch in the San Francisco Bay Area. They knocked off the Giants 6-4. Back to the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. Top of the order was stellar for Seattle. D. Gordon, Gene Segura went a combined 6 for 9, 3 runs and a double. The M's posted a 4-run first inning, and that allowed former Wenatchee Apple Sox pitcher Marco Gonzalez to cruise. He got the win. He allowed 3 runs, 6 hits, and 6 1/3 innings. Seattle and the Giants wrap it up today. 4:15 first pitch at AT&T Park. Felix Hernandez and Johnny Cuerto will toe the rubber, respectively. 35 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today. I had 5 to choose from. Today is Walk Around Things Day. Today is School Librarian Day. Maybe I should have chosen that one. Today is Tell a Lie Day. Not going to do that one. Today is World Rat Day, but it's also Hug a Newsman Day today. There's our favorite newsman. I couldn't find a picture of Steve Hare, so I put up Ron Burgundy. Hug a Newsman Day today, or a newswoman, if the case may be, is your opportunity to give a great big hug to your favorite local news person. We have one here. We have a bunch of them here. So when you're out and about today and you see Steve Hare, give him a hug. He'll hug you back. 36 minutes after the hour. Today in history. It's the 4th day of April, 2018. Believe it or not, this is the 200th birthday of the flag. You say, now wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean that? How does that work? It was 200 years ago today, April 14th, 1818, that the United States Congress adopted the current flag that we use. Here was the deal. It was Samuel C. Reed, who was a naval captain, said, this isn't going to work because every time a new state was admitted to the Union, they added 1 star and 1 stripe. And they were getting up to 20 states, and they had 20 stars and 20 stripes. And he said, this is just going to not look right. And so they decided they would reduce the number of stars to the stars is still, when states would be admitted, that star would be added to the flag, but they reduced the number of stripes back down to 13 to honor the original colonies, and that's the way it has been for exactly 200 years. Before that, it would be 1 star and 1 stripe for each state. Now it's just 1 star for each new state. Happy birthday to Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is 168 years old today. It was incorporated as a city. There's LA back in 1850. Fun facts about LA. Within the Los Angeles Coroner's Office, they have a gift shop. So you can buy the gift for that cadaver you love. Pickles cannot be manufactured in the downtown industrial zone of Los Angeles. There are more cars than people in Los Angeles. I'm not surprised there. And there are 389 cosmetic surgeons licensed in the city of LA. Plastics. Happy birthday, LA. 54 years ago today, there it is. This has never happened before. It will never happen again. The Beatles occupy the top 5 positions on the Billboard Hot 100. Please Please Me at number 5. I Want to Hold Your Hand at number 4. Roll Over Beethoven at number 3. Number 2 is Love Me Do, the number 1 song in America. Can't Buy Me Love, the top 5 songs in America. They also had another 9 songs on the Hot 100. They had 14 singles in the Hot 100 on this date 54 years ago. Today, it will never happen again. This will be in the news all day today. Today is the 50th anniversary of the assassination of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., assassinated by James Earl Ray at the motel in Memphis, Tennessee. He was 39 years old 50 years ago today. And happy birthday to Microsoft. Microsoft is 43 years old. That's the original logo of Microsoft. Over the weather forecast. Microsoft was founded as a partnership between Bill Gates and Paul Allen on this date in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1975. How much money did Microsoft earn last year? Net revenue, $21.2 billion. It's been a success. And finally, we have birthdays at 39 minutes after the hour. He was born McKinley Morganfield on this date in 1913 for fans, aficionados of the blues, and I'm one of them. I'm talking about Muddy Waters, the legendary Muddy Waters. Rollin' and Tumblin', Hoochie Coochie Man, Mannish Boy, Got My Mojo Workin', and tons of other blues classics written and performed by the legendary Muddy Waters, who was born on this date in 1913, passed away at the age of 70 back to 1983. The 7th Commissioner of Baseball, A. Bartlett Giamatti, died very young, 51, of a heart attack in the summer of 1989. The 7th Commissioner of Baseball loved baseball, great baseball philosopher. He was a baseball commissioner for less than a year and will always be associated with the Pete Rose scandal. We miss him a great deal. A. Bartlett Giamatti, born in the state in 1938. Craig T. Nelson celebrates birthday number 74. Coach, Parenthood, Poltergeist. He turned down the original role of Jay in Modern Family. He just wanted too much money. Craig T. Nelson is 74 years old today, born and raised in Spokane, Washington. Happy birthday to Craig T. Nelson. And one of my favorite actors, Robert Downey Jr. I think he's an incredible actor. The producer, the director, the screenwriter. He's got an Academy Award on his shelf. He is 53 years old today. All right, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, part 2 from yesterday's commentary. It comes your way in just a couple of minutes. And then my Skype interview with Lisa Bradshaw. And the Don't Wait Project will come your way right after that. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Wednesday edition on the NCW Live channel.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
Your home for the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel. Be sure to watch the Kais Fiber Youth Parade Saturday, April 28th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 4th, and the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 5th, right here. Brought to you by Merry Maids. Relax, it's done. And by Schmidt Electric, serving the West since 1960. Your home for the 2018 Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel.
My name is Betcha Vilchek, and I'm a junior here at Wenatchee High School. I would really like to see the bond passed so we can have bigger classrooms and smaller class sizes. So vote yes, WHS, Panther Pride.
I'm Ashley Turner, and I would love to see a less crowded lunch area and more parking space. That's why I ask you to vote yes for WHS.
Vote yes, WHS, and let's fix Wenatchee High School for our kids. Paid for by Citizens for Wenatchee Schools.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've told you about this Amazon Echo thing that I have in my house that my wife and I got. This thing echoes and answers when I talk to it. Well, some of my friends have advised me, they've warned me, don't get this thing because they say that all this Echo Alexa thing is a tool for the government to eavesdrop. Those folks say the CIA or whoever is hacking into our Echoes, our droids, and our iPhones and listening to everything we say. Well, I say that if the government really wants to hear Rosie and I argue about whose turn it is to thaw out some identifiable freezer bag for dinner, well, they're more than welcome to listen if they want to. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Localtel. First Friday at the museum is April 6th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Admission is free all day and light refreshments are served after 5. Also Friday is Trivia Night at the Wenatchee Public Library. Bring your own 2 to 8 person team or join one when you arrive. It's happening 7 to 9:30 p.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley.
Christian Shanlin here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Make your dream of building your own home a reality today. Bay Equity Home Loans has teamed up with Real Homes to make building your new home a smooth process. Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee offers new construction loans, FHA 3.5% down, and VA 100% construction loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
It's time for our bi-weekly visit with Lisa Bradshaw. She is on the road for the Don't Wait project. It's been almost exactly 2 weeks to the day since the last time we chatted with Lisa. First of all, first things first, where are you?
I'm in Sacramento, California, and I'm with a group of people who are building tiny homes for homeless veterans.
Oh, cool.
And I got to visit with a high school. They involve local high schools, kids that are helping build learning skills. They're here today building fences. You can see behind me, they're taking a break for lunch right now. But yeah, so that's where I am today.
So it's been 2 weeks. Walk us through the last 2 weeks in a nutshell. Where have you been and what have you done since we last talked to you? I believe the last time we talked to you, you were in Vancouver. So where are you now? I mean,
yes.
Walk me through that.
Then I went to Eugene, Oregon. The story that I did with that family airs on my show today. Is this airing Wednesday? Yes, and it's a very intimate and really enlightening look at mental illness within their family. Her son is 21 and homeless and mentally ill, and just how they deal with it is really amazing. And then I was in Weaverville, California, did my open mic night. I also did a story there in Redding. Now I'm in Sacramento. I go to San Francisco on Thursday, interviewing some people who lost their homes in the Sonoma fire and are doing really great things with what happened to them. And then on to LA and so on and so on.
So you are building tiny houses. Do you have any carpentry skills at all, or is it all about the spirit?
Well, sure, I can use a drill and a nail gun, staple gun, that sort of thing. But it was cool to watch the kids. They were measuring out the floor, and they have someone they call coach. He's the guy that's in charge of shop. And so he was helping them measure out the trim for the doorway, and they were laying out the flooring to get ready to put in the floating hardwood floors. So these kids that are juniors and seniors in high school, they actually could probably build a house from the ground up because they're doing it just on a much smaller scale.
A couple of days ago, you sent me a text, Lisa. It said, "I did it," with an exclamation point. You were pretty vague about the message to my phone. What did you mean by that?
Oh, I thought that I sent you a picture too. Sorry.
You did, but...
So it was... my open mic night. So
okay.
I committed to playing the song, The Story, at open mic on guitar. I've been talking about playing the guitar for 4 years, and I'm the Don't Wait girl. So I did it with the help of my gadget chord buddy that I got from Travis Perry, who invented it. And it was really, really cool. I talked a little bit to the audience first, just about why I was there, because there was the event was focusing on the Don't Wait Project too. And the good thing is I kind of had them on my side before I started. So even though I didn't play perfectly, they were very supportive. It was very cool. Something I wanted to do for a long time. I wanted to play a song. I didn't know I'd play it in front of people, but all the better.
Remember, Lisa, it's the singer, not the song. That's the important thing.
Well, I didn't sing. I just played guitar. I sing worse than I play guitar. So one time, my son and I were driving down the road, and he was in the back seat, and he's like 6 or 7, and he was singing along to the radio. And I said, Hunter, you sing just like Mommy. And he's like, oh, thanks. And then like 30 seconds down the road, he's like, wait a minute. Like, you don't sing well. So, yeah, I don't sing.
How's life in your not very commodious trailer? Are you all settled in now? You know where everything is supposed to go, or?
Yeah, there it is right there behind me.
There it is.
You see that? Yeah, I've got it figured out pretty well. I've slept in it every night, and yeah, I mean, as long as I make my bed first thing, everything stays organized. But otherwise, it can, pile up a little bit. But yeah, it's so comfortable. I used the air conditioning when I was in Reading because it was like 90 degrees, and it worked great. And I don't really watch much TV, but the stereo sure works nice.
Two more questions. How's your diet going? Are you eating junk, or are you cooking your own little meals and getting by on the good stuff?
Well, it's funny. I think I've only spent like $45 since I left on the trip because I have friends and family all along the way, and they're all so generous. They take me to dinner. Today we have a nice spread of food from a caterer. I cook usually breakfast in the camper, and then I have, snacks in there for lunch or whatever. But one thing, I mean, I've missed my desk treadmill, I'll tell you that. Because all this editing that I'm doing for the show and these interviews, I'm doing it sitting, which I'm not used to.
I got to ask you, because you're spending a great deal of time in your car, what's your road tunes? What are you listening to as you cruise down the various highways and byways of the West Coast?
Yeah, so Pandora, Ray LaMontagne, a lot of, I like Matt Kearney, I like Adele, I like Brandy Carlisle, Bob Dylan, so a little old, little new.
Good for you.
That's my vibe.
So you're going from here to San Francisco, the city by the bay. What's your in San Francisco? You're going to be doing what exactly again, please?
I'm interviewing 2 young girls who came up with a really interesting, enlightening, fun, creative way for elementary school students to deal with losing their homes in the Sonoma fire. That's all I'm going to say.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to it. You want any news from the Wenatchee Valley while you're on the road?
Do I want some?
Yeah.
Do you have some for me?
No.
You're the news guy. My people are keeping me informed, my friends and my family. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm so excited about getting home. It'll be the first week in May. I can plant my flowers. I'm missing out on the last part of this coldness you guys are getting. I mean, it's like 85 degrees out here right now.
Don't tell us that.
And it's just going to get warmer as I go. See that
don't tell us that.
Sunshine.
One more question.
So, yeah, I mean, it's good.
Go ahead.
It's good. All's good.
I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm going to cut you loose. Have you been in touch with Hunter, your son?
Yes, regularly. Except I have to say, we've had some sort of contact every day since he left for college, even if it's just me shooting him a hello. I don't expect him to call me every day or anything. But he went on a camping trip with his friends last week, and it was the first time I didn't hear from him. Just kind of a drag, but I am pretty busy, so. But he's doing great, and yeah, he stays in touch. Makes me happy.
Well, best of luck on your endeavors. Drive safely, as usual, and we will be in touch with you as you go farther down the road on the Don't Wait project. You want to thank your sponsors while I have you here.
I sure do. I want to thank Town Toyota for all their support. Boy, people really love this wrapped car you can see behind me, and Apache Camping Center in Everett providing the camper. It's funny, even in RV spots, I think I mentioned that some people haven't seen one of those. So especially when I'm cooking up a meal in the back of it. So I'm just really grateful for all the support. I say it every time, but it's so true. And all of the Facebook and Instagram followers and likes we've picked up along the way, and people seem very interested in these stories. And if you stick around long enough, I'm sure there's something you can relate to, and maybe it'll speak to you along the way.
Well, as you mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, you have a brand new episode of Life with Lisa airing later on today on this Wednesday, and we'll all be tuning in. I'm looking forward to seeing it, Lisa.
Thanks so much.
Take care. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Thursday night, Hockey Night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is Hockey Night on the NCW Life Channel.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from LocalTel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value LocalTel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
Ready Medi is healthcare made simple and affordable. We are the only direct primary care practice that provides personalized and holistic healthcare in North Central Washington. Our wellness model not only helps prevent heart attacks and strokes, but we also optimize hormones. Affordability is our goal. For example, hip surgery locally is $45,000, whereas our members have the same access for $15,000. Ready Medi, healthcare made simple and affordable.
We are back live here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. About 3 minutes left on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Also, of course, it is National Hug a Newsman Day today. Celebrate it with a newsman you love. Speaking of news, News Director Steve Hare is back. What you got for me, friend?
Well, I just want to advise our residents that if you do smell a little smoke up in the Entiat area, here's why it's going on. Yesterday, they were doing some prescribed burning. That's the U.S. Forest Service map there, Wenatchee-Okanagan National Forest, and there you can see the little key on the right will show you where the active fires were burning yesterday, and that was up in the Dill Creek area, upper Entiat Valley. And then the little greenish-brown circles there are the planned prescribed burns. So they're going to be fairly aggressive this year with the prescribed burning during the spring months. So be aware of that, and be aware that there's going to be a little smoke attached to that as well. But we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. Also coming up at 5 tonight on our NCW Live Evening News, we'll have more on the interviews of the top 4 candidates for the Deputy Director position at the Chelan County Port District. We met them yesterday for the interviews. James Kuntz, Todd Coleman, James McIrvin, and Allison Williams are the top 4 candidates, and we'll tell you more about them. Again, coming up on the NCW Live Evening News with Eric Grandstrom doing the honors.
Do you know when they have to make a decision, the board?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I think they're going to take their time to kind of vet each of them. From what I saw yesterday in the interviews, they're all very highly qualified, including your brother.
Including my brother, yes. There's
That's
a lot
right.
of Kuntzes around here. Let's go to this live shot of Lake Wenatchee once again. If you're just joining us, it's been snowing up there in Lake Wenatchee, and it is snowing harder,
yeah, look at that.
not lighter up there. A beautiful spring day up at Lake Wenatchee. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour, we're in for some rain. Heaviest rainfall today for the Wenatchee Valley, going to be between about 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. So if you're going to the soccer game tonight at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl, of course they have that overhang, so you're going to stay dry. But I think we're going to dodge the raindrops. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I'm line producing tonight, and my camera people don't like to work in the rain. That is your timetable. So as you can see there, the top thing is your chance of rain, and the bottom graph is how much rain will come down if in fact it does rain. So the big window is 11 a.m. to about 4 o'clock, and then look all the way ahead. Look at
What are we
Thursday.
talking about total rainfall out of this storm?
Not much. The heavy rain, the big stuff, is going to be coming down Friday night and Saturday. A lot of rain Friday night and Saturday. Heads up there.
I'll have to keep the trailer in storage this weekend.
Yeah, keep the trailer in storage. Passes right now. Stevens is going to be a real problem today. They're expecting about 1 foot of snow on Stevens Pass. Most of the snow will be coming down on the west side of the mountain passes. The west side, not the east side, is where they're going to get most of that because they've got a big frontal system packing a lot of moisture. And we will see you tonight at Leave Off the Field at the Apple Bowl. If not, Wenatchee High School, Pasco Bulldogs, Boys High School Soccer, 6 o'clock. Until then, have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.